Alrighty boys, so the jar when I came back from Christmas was absolutely disgusting. As you can see, the substrate is gross, the plants have completely rotted, same for the rock, covered in algae. I managed to get contamination from the local fish shop. So we're going to clean everything and start over. All the soil is out and it absolutely stinks, but here's the full jar, rock boiling vigorously. Now it's time just to clean up the glass, get rid of these bits of algae, disinfect it and make sure the whole thing is completely clean. Okay, for the bottom layer of substrate, I'm just using regular garden soil. Not much, but some nutrients that the roots can really get into over time. I think in the past I've made a mistake of putting too much, so we're just going to go for a very thin layer and then hit it with some aquarium substrate that's full of nutrients and a bit more gravelly. The gravel is in, just needs flattening out, and I've put the centerpiece rock in. And then that's supported by some buried hardscaping. There's a rock also under the middle, so it shouldn't sink over time. Finally, the sand and the driftwood is going to go in. There we have it. We have 3 layers: soil, gravel, and sand. We have our hardscape dragon rock. And then moving out, we have some small piece of driftwood to give some verticality, and that's the hardscape done. I think it's important that you should look at your hardscape and you should think, damn, that's hot, that looks good, I really like this, even without plants. Once I had that, I made a rough plant plan here of some colours and got to work. It's a few days later and the plants have arrived. To start with, we're going to have some fertilizing capsules. I'll open these up and disperse them throughout the soil to make sure that there's an even amount of nutrients within the soil. Moving on, we've got Anubias. This is a petite one and it will be attached to some of the wood. I've gone for in vitro because I really don't want algae polluting my tank this time, so we can start at the back. I've got some Glossostigma, a really nice foreground plant. Got a red rotala to go at the back that should turn sort of this color. And then we've got some flame moss. Part of this will be put on the rock and on the wood. And then finally, we've got green wavy. I'm not even going to try with that Latin word. Apparently it's a premium limited edition. So, hell yeah. Hell yeah! The plan actually is to start with the dry start method. I'm going to add some water up until about here, so the soil's slightly saturated. And then I'm just going to humidify everything. We should get some quicker growth from this. It's my first time to try this, so really it's anybody's guess. But let's start filling and try and get some cool footage.
Hell, man, what the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy.
First up, guys, we've got the Anubias. It's now attached to this stick here. The roots are running down the length of the rock. Very hard to see because of the mist. Put some of the flame moss inside the holes of this rock, just to give it a bit more of a dynamic feel. Actually, I'm going to use the moss painting trick shown by a YouTube channel. I'll link it in the description. And I'm going to grind up some of the moss in a blender basically and paint where I want it to grow. Look at that, So we basically have a moss ink now, and I can effectively just paint this wherever I want moss to grow. Hey guys, so I got a phone call, so you don't get to see what happened, but knowing the pacing of my videos, that was a kindness. So here we are, the jar is installed. I've humidified the life out of it so that it should keep all the plants nice and moist and allow them to get a lot more CO2, which is what the dry start method's meant to be all about, right? So I have the carpeting plants spread across the front here. There's moss installed in this rock. There's a green wavy plant in the back of the rock with its rhizome exposed. And then again, a Nubius petite in the rock in a similar situation. And then we have moss painted on the stick as well at the top and on the right side. Moving around to the back, we have a nice red plant whose name I forget. But yeah, and that basically covers the entire back third of the jar. So it should have this really nice red planting all around the back, bright green across the bottom, rock, and the stick. And then at the top, some floating plants will go in. I saved the plants from the previous jar iteration. Snail, brah, snails still do be kind of living in the water bottle though, unless he's dead. Nope. Gone all the way to the top though, so he really is desperate to come out. Not really sure what to do about that. Just hang in there, buddy. But okay, we'll check back in a few weeks and we'll see how it's going. Side note, I've seeded the soil with a bit of bacteria, so even while we're in this state, hopefully we should start to get some cycling in this volume of water here. Here we have a picture for clarity and another angle. And this is week 0 versus week 1. That's all you get! Yo dude, what do you think of the jar, eh? What do you reckon, bro? You like it? Oh, why was I condemned? Sucks, bro.